What's in the cards for you this week? Happy Halloween week. I'm excited to use my special Halloween deck. I am going to make sure that I'm live in all the places. As you hop on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. I love, love, love to do these sessions live. And it also means that we kind of go with the flow. It takes me a moment just to make sure that all systems are a go, because it's always interesting. Holy cannoli. Not even popping up there. So new moon this week, new moon in Scorpio to kick off that wonderful energy of November. We're in Scorpio season. Let me know if it is your birthday. If you are a Scorpio, pop it in the comments. We'd love to wish you happy birthday. Scorpio energy is wonderful, intense, focused energy. And the thing that I love about Scorpios, my daughter's a Scorpio, is that they are these incredibly loyal, loving souls that when they let you in to their world, you have a friend who would go above and beyond. So I truly treasure the Scorpios when they extend their friendship, because I find that it is one of these things where Scorpios, they feel very deeply and very intensely. So they do things to protect themselves and to keep people at bay. Sometimes that's called having walls up or boundaries, but they are here to learn healthy boundaries. So when a Scorpio kind of lets down that wall and is willing to share their feelings and their experience and their life with you, it's very, very special. Okay, so it looks like, phew, I made it. I'm across all the boards. So this week, I want to talk about anxiety. This has been popping up a lot, whether it's how to manage anxiety, how to get rid of it forever. Oh, yeah, okay. Nothing is forever. Well, hold on. Cancel, clear, delete. Let's back up for a moment. What I want to do and what I'm called to do is to give you sacred practices, tools, techniques to enable you to live the life you were born to live. And if you're in a state of anxiety or fear or worry, what happens is that you can't hear your guidance, those subtle inner nudges, the intuitive inklings. And when you can't hear that guidance, what ends up happening is you end up acting out of fear or urgency. And often, I don't know many people, especially like when I'm working with my clients or I look back on my own life, when I look back at those moments where I acted out of fear or urgency, a false sense of urgency, I regret it. I question myself, like, why did I do that? Arpita, hello. Thanks for saying hi. So what I want to do is give you some techniques today as we look at the moon, how to harness the energy of the moon to manage anxiety, to find your breath, and to be able to hear that intuitive guidance. Because when you can hear that intuitive guidance, which I do believe comes from God Creator, Source Universe, then you are able to stay on that calling and that path, that line that is guiding you towards your soul's ultimate blueprint, which I feel is our natal chart, where the stars were when they were home. Hi, Julie. Glad you're here. So let's jump in. And hey, by the way, if we haven't met yet, my name's Irina Miller. I'm an astrologer, a spiritual life guide, what I call an energy alchemist. And as I said before, my goal is to help curious seekers like yourself, empaths, with the techniques, the tools, the sacred practices that really help you soar and live your best life. So let's jump into this. This week, I first like to talk about what's most important to know. We'll use the Halloween cards, and I'm going to pull a card. So what message is most important for those tuning in right now, watching live and on the replay? What's most important that you need to know? Rest. The Four of Bats. It's the same as the Four of Swords. It is important that you take some time to rest. You most likely have been burning the candle at all ends, when we're not getting enough sleep, when we're not getting enough nutrition, when we're in a constant state of on the go. Anxiety is going to go off the charts. There's always to-do lists where there's never enough time. It feels like, how am I going to get everything done? So what I'm going to share with you today is going to help, even if you just have 2 minutes. It will make a difference. And it's part of the new moon ritual that I want to share with you for the new moon in Scorpio. So we'll get to that in a moment. But overall theme for this week is sneak some rest in somehow, some way. And I know this is a busy time for a lot who are watching. You're entrepreneurs, business people. You're in that last quarter, fourth quarter of the year, trying to get things done. We're getting into the holidays. Thanksgiving's around the corner for our US friends, and elections and all sorts of things. So take a breath right now. And as you take a breath, let it out slowly. And I want to share with you one of the first sacred practices and techniques that I truly love. It's an affirmation from Louise Hay. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Whatever comes of this moment now will be good. I am safe. And breathe. The beautiful thing is that in the present moment, if you can tune in and you can tell yourself and you look and you see in this moment now, am I truly safe? Am I in fear for my life? Am I in a place where I have shelter? Am I in a place where I have access to food? Am I warm? Am I safe in this moment now? Usually we are. But what happens is all of these to-do lists, the anxiety just builds and builds and builds. And when that happens, we're not grounded. And when we're not grounded, it makes it difficult to be present and realize that, you know what? All of these ideas, my thoughts as they're spinning up and up and up, what happens is I forget that in this moment I'm safe. I have access to incredible creative solutions, my incredible thoughts, the mind, problem solving. The answers, they do come. But we have to be in a state where we can receive them. And if our mind is racing, if our heart is pumping, the cortisol going, it'll be hard to hear the guidance. So an affirmation is one technique. All is well. I am safe. And breathe. Okay. Talking about the energy of the week, I love to look at the overarching energy. What's happening with the moon? Well, the moon, we're working towards new moon in Scorpio on Friday, which means the moon is getting darker and darker and darker. And as the moon becomes darker in the heavens, what we also discover is that our energy starts to lessen a little bit for those who are moon sensitive. So generally speaking, as the moon gets darker, we too want to go within. We want to become more introspective. We may not want to go out and play quite as much. So know this week, if your energy is waning a bit, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be completely introverted or, cancel all your activities. It just means that if you're feeling a little more fatigued and tired, you're not beating yourself up over not pushing enough, over not going for it and doing more. You're realizing, like the card of the week, the 4 of Bats, it's important to get rest this week. Rest is very important. So maybe you say, you know what, I've got to go to bed a little bit earlier. I won't watch that show, or I'll have to cut out this one activity so that I can get a little bit more rest. Keep your immune system high as we are getting ready to go into the colder seasons. And I just want to make sure, okay, holy cannoli. My watch is blowing up. I'm getting all sorts of messages. Wanted to make sure you can all hear me wherever we are. Okay, so talking about each day of the week. Monday, the moon kicks off in Virgo. And let's just pull a card. What's most important that you need to know about Monday's energy? Page of Ghosts. So the Page of Cups, essentially. This is a card that's saying there are new beginnings afoot. This energy is encouraging you to tune into your heart because it's cups. Listen to your feelings. Pay attention to those little nudges, those hints, those inklings, as I call them. You are being given a wonderful sacred message from an unexpected source. The little fish is speaking to the youthful energy here. So there is a little bit of a suspension of disbelief. I'm going to encourage you on this Monday, take a moment to pay attention to the signs that are popping up around you. And if someone else is pointing something out to you, if you're not noticing it right away, say, am I moving too quickly? Was I moving too quickly to see what was all around me? And it's funny because, and story to kind of share an experience of this is we have a beautiful nature center nearby. And we're taking our fur babies out for a walk, my husband and I. And as we're walking through the woods, I love being able to spot the movement in the woods. And I pride myself. I'm like, oh, I always catch movement out of the corner of my eye. I see the little chipmunks, the squirrels, maybe a deer. And I literally, just a couple of weeks ago, my dog Gracie and we walked right over a snake. I didn't even notice it. I mean, right over. I mean, it was a miracle we didn't step on the thing. It wasn't a big snake, it was a baby snake. But still, I was like, how did I miss that? My husband was like, oh, he didn't say anything until we cleared the snake because he was afraid he might shock us and we might do something. But Gracie and I, we both just walked right over the snake, never even realized. But sometimes we have wonderful friends who point out, hey, did you see this going on around you? Pay attention. So look for the signs today. Pay attention to those little things that pop up. Just take note. You don't have to do anything with it just yet. But Virgo energy, the great thing about it is that it's analyzing. It's an analytical moon. Great day to collect data, to organize yourself, get everything in place so that you can prepare for the new moon, because this new moon on Friday is about transformation. And the more information that we have on hand, the data in front of us, that also helps to reduce the anxiety, because whenever there's transformation or change, as this new moon brings in, what happens is, we get anxious. We get overwhelmed. What's going to happen? I don't know. Should I take this leap of faith? Is it going to work out? I want to invite you again to breathe. All is well. I am safe in this moment now. And start to collect the data so that you can become more informed as much as you can as you come closer to Friday. Okay, so getting into Tuesday's energy. So Tuesday, the moon moves into Libra. So what's most important that you need to know about Tuesday's energy? We'll see who pops up. 10 of Imps. This is the same as 10 of Wands. I love this card. Look at this wonderful little, it's like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's walking along. He's like, oh my God, another one snuck away. How am I going to carry all of these little imps over, maybe getting them out of his yard or maybe fencing them back in? But the ultimate message of this is you're doing a lot. And it's an awful lot. And as much as you try to hold everything in your hands and do it all at once, something inevitably is going to sneak away from you. You're going to feel like, oh, I dropped the ball. I can't believe I did that. What? And then we beat ourselves up. We feel like a failure. There's another quote that I love. How often before we begin a task do we declare it impossible? We look and we're like, oh, there's no way I can carry all 10 imps. What if it's not so much about trying to do all the things right now, to carry all the projects, to meet all these deadlines that are in place, but realizing something's got to give. Something has to be released. Libra is about harmony and balance. So the Libra moon, and I love here the moon, is encouraging you. Create more harmony and balance in your life, whether it's with relationships, whether it's with work, whether it's with your health. You're trying to do too much at once right now, my beautiful, beautiful, lovely soul. Release a couple projects, delegate them, change the due date for yourself, give yourself some breathing room, because again, the overall message for the week is that energy of taking a rest, the 4 of Bats, making sure you have some breathing room. Wednesday. So Wednesday's energy, what's most important that you need to know? It's a time of letting go. I love that this is coming up right before Halloween, right before Day of the Dead. This is a card of transformation. So when the death card comes up, it's not actual physical death, but it's the letting go of something. It's the end of an era. It's the end of a moment in time. It's saying this chapter is done. We're ready for the next part. So if you think about this week, a key piece to it is having breathing room. You need to create some time to rest, because if you don't have the rest this week, the anxiety is just going to keep building, and it's going to feel very challenging, if not impossible, to say, how am I going to run this marathon? How am I going to reach my big goals? 10 of Wands or 10 of Imps is saying, all right, it's going to feel like we dropped the ball somewhere. We can't do everything. We can't do it well. So rather than feel like a failure, rather than beat yourself up, why can't I do it? It's not working. I just want to forget everything. I'm give up. That's it. Whenever you feel like quitting, rest, take a break. You're trying to do too much. So the death card is saying it's time to breathe. It's time for a new chapter. It's time for your new life to begin. So having those little quiet moments this week are going to enable you, and I'm going to give you a practice as well that I encourage you to do every day. It'll help with anxiety. It'll help you with the shifts that are coming with this new moon. But to do this every day, it'll make a difference. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Thursday. Thursday, the moon is still in Libra. And let me double check. Hold on. I want to check because I'm going off my memory here. I just want to, as I say this, something says, let me double check. Yes, Thursday, we're still in Libra. It goes into Scorpio in the afternoon. So we wake up in the morning with it in Libra. So most important for you to know is you're going places, baby. Success is imminent. The Chariot card is success. It is victory. It can mean a physical move. It can mean going somewhere. But for Halloween, that energy of Libra, the Libra moon, which is still encouraging balance and harmony, you're also being encouraged to celebrate the wins, celebrate the successes. Give yourself that moment to know that if your mind is focused on all of the, oh no, will it work out? I don't know. I'm already so far behind. It didn't work in the past. Like cancel, clear, delete that stuff. Doing the breath work, grounding. I am safe. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest is going to give you the clarity of mind and the focus that you need in order to hear the guidance and come up with a creative solution. And you can move forward. And the beautiful thing about being in a place like that is you hear of all of these inspirational stories that have come up where people have really escaped life and death situations by being able to be present and connected to their intuition. It could be something as simple as, there's a wonderful story one of my teachers tells, and it's her story to tell. I'm trying to think if I have an alternative to it. It always comes to mind. It just hit me so close to my heart. But she spoke of a time when her mother was in a very dangerous situation, and her friend had found this blanket, and the blanket belonged to the occupying force that was in their country. And he was using the blanket to keep himself warm. And the long story short of it was the soldier saw her friend with the blanket and was going to execute the friend for having stolen the blanket, essentially. And my teacher's mother said, oh, he's colorblind. He didn't realize that was, army dispensed item. He took it and he didn't know. And amazingly, his life was spared. I told that to a friend just recently, and she had a similar story. But if you take a moment, again, to ground, even when we're in dire situations, if we create this, if we create this strong relationship with intuitive guidance, it will come to serve you. It's just a matter of knowing how to look for the intuitive messages, how to know how to interact with them. That's why I love in my Mastering Intuition program, breaking down, okay, let's see, what are your natural intuitive gifts? Are you clear seeing, clear feeling, clear knowing, clear, what did I not say? Knowing, seeing, hearing, feeling. Those are the four main, but there's taste, there's smell, there's more. But if you know how the message is going to come through, if you can learn to trust that you're not making it up in your head, it will make all the difference. I love it. And sometimes in moments when I'm tired, I'm like, oh no. But I love it. Certain people will pop into my head and I'll be like, oh, I need to reach out to them. Or certain reminders, oh, pay that bill, or oh, check your email. I can tell you how using the sixth sense makes life so much more enjoyable. Why debilitate ourselves by lacking or holding back from one of these six senses? Okay, so I'll get off my little rant. Friday. So now the moon is moving into Scorpio, new moon in Scorpio. What's most important that you need to know about this new moon? It is a new beginning. Ace of Wands, Ace of Imps. You're being offered a new project, a new opportunity for a new job. It's new beginnings. So everything that might have felt heavy in the beginning of the week, everything that might have felt overwhelming, what it's saying is in order, because, that definition of insanity, you keep doing the same thing and getting the same results. There's something that we've been doing over and over and over and getting the same results. Maybe we're trying to make a couple tweaks here or there. Or maybe we think, oh, this one more thing will be the magic bullet. I'll never forget when I had my brick and mortar yoga studio, I had a gal come in and she was hysterical. I don't even know where she came from. I just have to giggle. But she was like, oh, you can give me a pill and I'll lose weight, right? She didn't. And anyway, long story short, I just looked at her and I was like, no, I don't. We're just going to do yoga. I'll teach you how to move your body in a safe, healing, beautiful way that'll enable you to really feel free. But sometimes we're looking for that magic bullet. We're looking for the answer. We're like, oh, one more thing and one more thing. And then we're carrying all the things, like, right, the old phrase, the one with the most toys wins. No, one with the most toys is going to be exhausted and cluttered and overwhelmed and feeling anxious. What in your life are you willing to let go of? Because if you're walking around with your hands clenched, you're not going to be able to receive this new opportunity that's coming in on Friday. What have you been dreaming of? What have you been wanting and hoping and wishing for and praying for? And you're like, it's not coming. What if it is and it has been coming, but your things are so stuffed up around you that you haven't been able to see it? That's why, Monday today, listen, if people are pointing things out like, you're walking over a snake. That was crazy. Still can't believe it. I was like, what? I saw the movement after it. Like, we kind of walked over it. I heard it and saw it. And my husband was like, did you see that? Like, not exactly. Oh boy. That's why it's great to have friends, because we can't possibly always see around us everything that's going on, but good friends who have our back. Okay, Saturday's energy. Saturday moon is still in Scorpio. How can you make the most of it? Ace of Pumpkins. So this is the Ace of Pentacles. So gifts coming into your life. So more new beginnings. There's opportunity all around you. Are you willing to accept and receive it? These gifts that are being handed, now the other one's shuffled in, but the other one as well, they have these hands coming from the clouds offering you opportunities and gifts. But if you're too full, if you're too stuffed up, you're not going to be able to receive the gifts and opportunities around you. So what can you let go of? What's got to give? Pay attention to that. Don't overstretch yourself in this way. You're missing out on the opportunities and the good times. Hello, Paul. Glad you made it. All right. So Saturday's energy. Saturday, the moon moves into adventurous Sagittarius. What do you need to know about Sunday? Let's see who pops up. Knight of Pumpkins. So this is planning. Knight of Pentacles is the one that this represents. Planning for the future. He's not in a rush. He's not running anywhere. He's got his good old pumpkin on his steed, and he is paying attention. I've got this wonderful opportunity. I've got this pumpkin. Where will I invest it? What do I want to grow? He is thinking long term. So if we think about the whole energy of the week, it's a week where their energy is not going to be as big and bright as usual, because we're going towards a new moon, a dark moon. And so it lends itself towards introspection and introversion, where we're tuning in. When you look at the days of the week, even the overarching message of the week, which was the Four of Bats, rest, 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 rest. Sneak in, squeeze in somewhere, somehow, a little bit of time to rest so you can hear intuitive guidance. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to get through the week, because what we see is as we go through the week, the 10 of Imps, the 10 of Wands comes up. I think that was Tuesday. We're trying to do too much at once, and we can't possibly do it all. And we end up feeling like a failure because we're like, I didn't succeed. I didn't finish. Well, no, because you're trying to run a marathon and bake a cake and talk to your friend and do this, and something's got to give. What are you willing to let go of? Because we are coming to that closing of a chapter. Wednesday's energy with that death card that comes up, that's all about saying it's just the end of an era. Something is coming to an end. It's not literal, it's figurative. What are we closing the chapter on? What are we getting ready to release? Because opportunities abound. As we move into Halloween, we have the Chariot card, which is the success card, potential, victory, movement forward. Saturday, the Ace of Wands, new projects, new jobs, new opportunities. Sunday, Ace of, or I skipped one, didn't I? There was an Ace of Pentacles in there. And then we had, which is a gift of money. And then Sunday, which was the Knight of Pentacles. How are we going to invest that? these opportunities that come our way. How are we going to bring that all together to reach our dreams? It's a big week. So this is the practice, the new moon ritual that I'm going to invite you to do. If you can find a place where you can kind of be in the dark, whether it's in a closet, I'll sit in my closet, just kind of close the door. You could use an eye mask. That's helpful. But what you're trying to do is just block out the distraction and set a timer. Sit for 2 minutes in the dark. That could be it. That could be your ritual. If you do that, what it's going to enable you to do is give you a moment to unplug and to start to become more aware of those little inner knowings, the hunches, the inklings. The next thing, if you're up for it, is I'm going to just have you do deep breathing. In through the nose 4, out through the nose 4. No complicated. You don't have to do the box breath. Just breathe in 4, out 4. Make the inhale and the exhale even. So you're sitting in the dark and you're doing even breathing, because we get anxious when the exhale is shorter than the inhale. Our anxiety, our blood pressure, our heartbeat naturally goes up. Think of it when people hyperventilate. They're trying to breathe in all this air through their mouth. No. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And just regulating the breath. The third final thing, this comes from yoga practices, and it's using the hands, where you simply bring the thumb to each fingertip. So you're just doing a nice deep inhalation, in for 4, out for 4, and you're simply bringing thumb tip to fingertips. And by doing that, you're enabling yourself to come back to the present moment, to balance the energy within you. It's similar to balancing the chakras, balancing our energy centers, because the fingers represent the elements: fire, air, ether, earth, and water. So we're looking to balance the elements within our being, to recognize and remember who we are, beautiful spiritual beings having a human practice. So for this new moon in Scorpio, which is all about change and transformation, breaking down the old paradigms and structures so that emotional healing can take place, I encourage you, sit in the dark for 2 minutes, do that deep, even breathing, and simply bring your thumb to the fingertips one at a time. And you're going to find that that will help support you to give you the rest you need, to hear the guidance that you need to know to make the right decisions moving forward this week. And if you're in Moon Club, we have the new moon ritual. I'll share it with you. I think it's going to be this Thursday. I've got to look at my calendar. This is a busy, busy week, but I'm going to put up on the screen, if it'll type out for me, the Moon Club information, because in Moon Club, what we're going to do is, last week we had our monthly moon planning session or moon mapping session for November, which was so much fun. And I'm excited to go over that with my Moon Club members more and more as we go through the month. But we have new moon ritual this week. We'll have a full moon ritual and, of course, monthly moon mapping for December to wrap up the year with excitement and with joy. It's a lot of fun. So check out Moon Club. We go into a lot of detail there about the moon and how to harness the energy of it, so you know how to make the most of it each day. And what else did I want to say? Oh, keep your eyes open. I'm hoping to sneak in a Halloween tarot party. I love doing that, especially with these cards. This week is just kind of filled up with quite a lot going on. So I will find a time. Keep your eyes open. Paul, thanks so much for being here. I'm glad you found that the yoga helps you. It does make a difference. Julie, thanks for being here. Arpita, wonderful to have you. Okay, I'll catch all of you gals and guys here next week, every Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Come and play and learn more about what's happening in the energy weather around you. Mwah! Much love, guys. Bye.